Hi, this is Kevin with Naples Lawn Service, and today we're going to be going over portable generator troubleshooting, why it won't start, and maintenance tips. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is give you some basic operating instructions on how to start this thing, because maybe you don't have any problems with it at all, you're just not starting it right. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is make sure you have gas in this thing, okay? I'd say at least 1/8 of a tank or so. So make sure you got gas in it. Now I'll show you how to start it. All right, so usually there's going to be an on and off switch, and on this particular generator, here's your on switch. Okay, next thing you need to do is make sure your fuel's on. Okay, you got an off and you got an on button or a switch right here. So you want to switch that to on, because without on, it's not flowing from the gas tank down to the carburetor. Next thing you want to do is choke it. You pull it until it starts up, and then you put the choke back to run. If you leave it on choke, it's going to end up killing itself, dying off, and you're going to wonder why it's not running. So you just choke it until it gets started. And there you go. So always choke it, and always put the choke off once it gets started. And to shut it off, you'll just turn your off switch to off. Okay, so that's all of your how to start procedures. Lots of times people don't follow all of those, and then it's not going to run. Now, if you've tried all that and the thing won't start, I'm going to show you a checklist. You can start checking things to see why it won't start. Okay, you're going to need to have a spark plug socket. It's a little different than a regular socket. It has a little gasket on the inside there, and it's shaped a little different. There's two different sizes of plug sockets. This one takes a 13/16. It'll tell you that right here. It'll say 13/16, okay? And then you're going to need a ratchet. This is a 3/8 socket, so this is a 3/8 ratchet. You just plug it in there, and we're going to pull the spark plug out. All right, just locate your spark plug, pull off your spark plug wire, and you'll see your spark plug down in there. You'll put that ratchet on there and start cranking, okay? Just like that. And this one's a little loose, so I'll go ahead and get the rest of it with my fingers once it gets loose like that. Okay, now you want to look at that. This is a little bit black, but it's not too bad yet. But if this little part right here is all the way down, or it's got a bunch of crud on it, or a bunch of dirt or dust or whatever doesn't look good on there, then you want to go ahead and replace this spark plug. It's only a $3 or $4 item, so you want to look at the plug that came out. It's going to tell you who makes it. This one made by Torch, and here's the numbers, but you can also use NGK or AC Delco or whatever plug that you want to use. But there's no downside to going ahead and just putting yourself a new plug in for $3 or $4, and that way you know that you're good. These can go bad internally also, so for $3 or $4, I would go ahead and replace your spark plug. The other thing you want to check if it's not running, or if it's running rough or whatever, you want to do this air filter every now and then. If it gets dirt or if it gets wet especially, it's not going to run at all if it gets soaked because it's been out in the rain or whatever. So you want to make sure this air filter is good. It's just a little foam piece here. Okay, make sure it's clean of dust and grass and dirt, and make sure it is not wet. It's got to be dry. And you can just order these. Let's look up your specific generator, and then you can figure out which air filter you need to get on Amazon for a couple bucks. Okay, now if you have low oil, a lot of these generators have a low oil shutoff where it will not run if the oil is low. So you find your dipstick and you untwist it out. It just threads right out. It's no big deal. And once it gets out, you wipe it off with a rag, and then you stick it back in there like that, okay? And that's how you check it, just like that. Okay, and it should be like halfway down the X marked areas, which this one's like right here, okay? But if this is dirty or brown or black or whatever, you want to change that oil, okay? Usually you're going to have a drain bolt on these. Here's your drain bolt here. And just drain that oil out and put more in according to your manufacturer specs. Usually it's not more than 1 quart. If you buy a quart, you'll have more than enough. Okay, it's easy just to Google up, you know, what does a Generac GP3600 hold for oil, or whatever generator that you have. Same thing with your air filter, same thing with your spark plug. And you need to change that oil every now and then, and it's going to tell you. You have an hour meter right here, okay? It's going to tell you change your oil every 5 hours or 10 hours or whatever it is. So you want to follow that, because you run low on oil or you got bad oil, you could blow your engine. So there's no sense doing that. It's very inexpensive. I mean, probably $3 or $4 maximum, and probably less than that, just to have your oil changed. Okay, another thing you can check is this exhaust on this muffler. Make sure you don't have any mud daubers clogging it up, or there's nothing clogging up this, because if this can't flow, if exhaust can't come out, then it is not going to run. So make sure nothing's plugging this up. Okay, now all these things have spark arrestors. What that means is it's a little screen, okay, that keeps sparks from flying out and starting a brush fire. So if these get clogged or dirty, it's not going to run either. So you just use a screwdriver, a wrench, whatever you have, take that clamp off, pop that off there, and you can either clean it with a wire brush, or you can just get another one for $4 or $5 and replace it and put it on there. But it's like a little screen for sparks. It lets the exhaust go out, but not the sparks. It's called spark arrestor. So if that gets dirty or clogged, because you've been running it a long, long time, that it needs to be cleaned or replaced. It's very easy to do. Okay, so I'll tell you probably the number one thing is reason it's not going to start if you've done all of that. Okay, you can't store these with gas in them. Okay, if you store them with gas in them any more than a couple months, that gas is going to start going bad. And when that gas goes bad, it's going to mess up your carburetor, and it's not going to run. At that point, you'll need to have a new carburetor. My son fixes small engines for a living, and the number one thing they come in for is they won't run, they won't start, and it's almost always a carburetor if it's not operator error. So if you need a carburetor, you're just going to have to send it in to the mechanic for repair, or you can do it yourself. It's very easy. I'll have a video coming out on how to do that. But if once the bad gas sets in that carburetor, your goose is cooked. It's not going to run, no matter what you do of these other things. So how you don't get to that point is you don't have bad gas. Now, if you've got bad gas in it, or if it's set for more than 2 months, dump that gas out, or you can drain it out, because that is also a problem. Let me show you how to do that. Well, all you do is just turn this to off. So now there's nothing flowing from your tank. You're just going to squeeze this with some needle nose pliers, and that gas line is going to pop off there. Okay, and at that point, you just put a pan underneath here to catch the gas. Okay, and then let all the gas get out of there. You can crack your fill cap up here, and it'll flow a little faster. And once all that gas is out, you can go dispose of that accordingly, and you put some new gas in there. Now, in the beginning of the video, I told you to go ahead and put gas in. I was assuming that your generator is empty. But if you didn't run it out last time and you do have bad gas in there, that's probably the first thing I do, is get that gas out of there. Okay, and when you're done running it, when you're done with it, you want to run all the gas out of here, okay? Turn this back to on. Run all your gas out of it. Make sure your hose is hooked back up. And just start it up, just let it run for an hour or so outside or whatever. And that way, next time when you go to use it, it's going to start up like brand new. So you run all your gas out, make sure it's out, then go try to start it, choke it, and all that. And if it won't start, then you know all that gas is out of that carburetor, and you're ready to go for next time. And that's how you want to store this. Always gas empty. So there you have it. That's our video on troubleshooting and maintenance tips of portable generators. If you'd like to subscribe, I'm going to have a lot more videos coming out. And if you like it, hit the like button.